Hey, hey, hey. I am back. Oh, okay. What a couple of days. So, I think I half promised that I was going to do a stream yesterday, and then I didn't realise we started making candles yesterday. It was our very first real go at making candles, and it went very well, but boy, did it take a long time. So, nothing else got done yesterday apart from said candles. So, we're here today instead. So let's get into the game. I have hours and hours and hours left to do with this game, apparently. We're still on Reunion and Turnabout. This is part 2. We started it Wednesday, I want to say. I have put my phone down somewhere, and do you think I can see it? I need that. My phone serves as my other screen, see, so I can see what's going on. But in true me fashion, I am massively unprepared. I've managed to get the wires sort of hooked underneath the chair somehow. Okay, that's out. So let's plug that in, get this on, and then we can get into the game. I'm trying to move this. This desk is on wheels, and I'm trying not to hit the dog with it. Okay. Wires everywhere. Wires. Okay. Let's see. Okay, we have eyes on. Okay. Let's go gaming then. Let's go do that. Okay. I'm going to turn that down ever so slightly in my ears because it's very, very loud. Okay. District Court Defendant Lobby number 3. Yeah, I spent most of the other day trying to find all the evidence. Mia was hiding something. We've got to get through 3 of her locks. And Maya is screaming at me. Prosecutor Von Karma. Oh yeah, his son. You mean... No, I heard it's his successor this time. Successor? Manfred Von Karma was a really sinister man. He pulled all sorts of nasty tricks, also he could win. We remember? He was a man obsessed with the word perfection. He had a perfect record for 40 long years. Who knows what sort of dirty tricks he used to get each one of those guilty verdicts. And now, his successor, I wonder what kind of person they will turn out to be. Is it just going to be a mini him? It's no good. Mystic Maya. Pearly? You showed up. Thanks for coming all this way. I was really worried about you. Hey, where's your mother? Didn't you two come together? Mother is watching over the trainees. She said they have training for 2 days straight with no breaks. Huh? Then you came all by yourself? Yep. I snuck out of the manor and followed a map. Don't tell me you walked all the way here. Of course not. I ran. I can't. Oh, my. If it takes 2 hours by train, oh man, has this kid been running all night? Pearly, what about the train? Huh? What's a train? I give up. It's time, isn't it? Probably. I'm really scared. What if Von Karma tries to do something to me? At least I know Mr. Edgeworth would be nicer to me than Von Karma. Mr. Edgeworth? Who is that? He's rival. Well, he's also a friend.
Objection!
I still remember him as though I'd seen him only yesterday.
Objection!
Every trial was a scorchingly fierce battle until the very end.
Objection! Objection!
It was always back and forth with them. But when you're rivals for life... Maya, please don't mention that name ever again. Huh? But why, Nick? I'm sorry, Maya. I forgot you don't know. He's gone, and he's not coming back. What? Wait a second. What's that supposed to mean? Court will commence shortly. Please proceed into the courtroom. Okay, so we're not getting any answers on the whole edgy work. Let's go. Now's not the time to talk about that anyway. Nick. Oh dear. Okay. It's 10 a.m. Court is prompt. Let's just settle the dog down. Good boy. Hey, good boy. Okay. Oh, yeah, definitely a little mini-me. Court is now in session for the trial of Maya Fay. Are the prosecution and the defence prepared? Prepared is not the word. What is with this kid? Mr. Wright, are you prepared? Huh? Ah, yes, Your Honour. Why does he always seem mad at me? Mr. Phoenix Wright. You must be a little shocked because I am a woman, correct? I mean, I wasn't going to assume, but... Hold on, so she's the famed successor to Prosecutor Von Karma? I am Franziska Von Karma. The prodigy. I see. I gave up a promising career in Germany and came to this country for one sole reason. Revenge. She got a whip. For real. A whip. Revenge. Is this about her father, Manfred von Karma? If it's something of a personal nature, I'm sure you can... Ow. I'm talking. She is 100% just whipping the ever-living daylights out of the court. If you interrupt me again, my whip will do the speaking for me. Please speak with your mouth like a normal person. I beg of you. Make no mistake, I will defeat you. Prepare to go down, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Well, Prosecutor Von Karma, your opening statement, please. Those of Von Karma blood have only one fate, and that is perfection. The defendant, Maya Fay, will find no escape from her guilt on my watch. Very well. What is the defence's position? Your Honour, does the defence wish to enter a plea of not guilty? Yes. Foolish fool who foolishly dreams of foolish dreams. 10 minutes. I give the defence 10 minutes before it changes its plea. That's right. I'll have you running for the justified self-defence plea in no time. Justified self-defence. A plea usually reserved for when a person unintentionally kills in defence of themselves. We could very easily make a solid case that it was self-defence, but... The defence stands by the plea of not guilty, Your Honour. Because to plead justified self-defence is to say you did kill someone. How foolish. If that's how you want to play it, Mr. Phoenix Wright, then I shall now call the first witness. She's just as scary as her father. Like father, like daughter, I suppose. Witness, your name and occupation. Yes, sir. My name is Dick Gumshoe. I'm a detective at the local precinct. Ah. Get to the point already. Explain to the court the details of this murder. Yes, sir. If everyone would please look at this map. The channeling chamber has no windows and the door was locked shut. At the time of the murder, only the victim and the defendant were in the room. What were they doing in there? They were channeling a spirit, sir. Channeling a spirit? That's quite the look of disbelief there, Your Honour. Anyway, a few minutes after the channeling started, the gunshots were heard coming from inside the room, sir. A few of the witnesses broke down the door and rushed into the room. And when they found that the victim was already dead, correct? I believe this is one of the most open and shut cases I have ever presided over. Okay, so we've got the floor plan of the channeling chamber. So, how was the victim killed? I was about to get to that. Stop wasting my time then. Okay, cause of death. The direct cause of death was a pistol shot to the forehead, sir. The shot was fired from point-blank range. But before the victim was shot, sir, he was stabbed in the chest. The wound was very severe, but not enough to cause instantaneous death. The murderer used the pistol to finish the victim off after the stabbing. Exactly. So the victim was stabbed before being shot. This is the victim's autopsy report, sir. The court accepts it into evidence. Mr. Wright, you may question the witness. Okay, so let's do some pressing then, I guess. Okay, keep going. The murder weapon, Detective Gumshoe. Whose pistol was it? It was the victim's. The victim? Now, why would he have...
Objection!
Why would he have a pistol? Who cares? The point that you are missing is whose fingerprints are on that pistol. If you're not already paying attention to that, then I suggest you start. Fingerprints. There were fingerprints. Along with the victim. The defendant, Maya Fays, were also on the grip, sir. So the defendant's fingerprints were left on the murder weapon. I walked right into her hands there. The shot was fired from point-blank range. What are we classing as point-blank? Point-blank, huh? So how far away is that? It's anywhere between 12 to 20 inches away. And how do you know he was shot at point-blank? Oh dear. Mr. Phoenix Wright. I grow tired of the foolish foolery of the foolish fools of this foolish country. She likes the word fool. Excuse me? Gunpowder burn. Gunpowder burn? When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left around the bullet hole. Gunpowder exploding is what makes a bullet fire. And that gets real hot, pal. And there were definitely some gunpowder burns left on the victim's forehead. Well, never knew that. Live and learn, I guess. But before the victim was shot, sir, he was stabbed in the chest. The wound was very severe, but not enough to cause instantaneous death. Okay. Let's ask about this. Stabbed. And what was he stabbed with? A fruit knife. I see. And whose knife was it? It looks like it belongs to the face, and of course, Maya Faye's fingerprints were all over it. All over it, huh? This does not look good. What will you do now, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Punch you in the face for a start. The wound was very severe, but not enough to cause instantaneous death. How severe was the wound? If it had been half an inch more to the right, it would have hit the victim's heart. After a stab like that, it's impossible to fight back, let alone stand. My yawns are back, you guys. What is it about this? This testimony makes it sound like Maya had stabbed him with the intent to kill. The murderer used the pistol to finish the victim off after the stabbing. Okay. Are you sure he was stabbed first, then shot? Yep. Sure as sure can be. One look at the wounds and you'd come to the same conclusion too, pal. A fool is a fool who will only listen to the foolish opinions of other foolish fools. A pistol shot to the forehead at point blank is certainly enough to kill instantly. Does it matter, then, which was first? Think a little more before you open that big mouth of yours, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Ugh, what a pain. Indeedle. That's enough. We've clearly established how the victim was murdered. I brought the 2 murder weapons with me today. Cool. Very well. The court accepts them into evidence. Okay. The date and time of death was June 19th at 3:15 p.m. Eyewitnesses claim to have heard 2 gunshots at this time. And 2 murder weapons, both with the defendant's fingerprints on them, huh? This does seem like an open and shut case. Naturally. This is going from bad to worse. As if the summary just now wasn't oversimplifying things to the extreme. Your Honour, feel free to slam that little gavel of yours. After all, there is no room left for doubt, is there? That is quite true, Mr. Wright. Yes. Even in the face of all this, do you still wish to plead not guilty? It is the opinion of this court that if you do not adjust your plea, you stand to lose. See, just as I promised, Mr. Phoenix Wright, you would change your plea in less than 10 minutes. What will you do, Mr. Wright? Will you change to justified self-defense? Because now would be the time to do so. This is your final chance. This is a huge decision. I better think this through all the way. I mean, we can't just... If we plead justified self-defense, we would basically be confessing to a murder. After the trial, Maya's life would be ruined and she'd be labelled a murderer. I can't let that happen. Your Honour, have you reached a conclusion, Mr. Wright? The defence will not change its plea. We will accept nothing short of a complete acquittal. You have sealed your fate, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Detective? Yes, sir? Isn't the final portion of your testimony the final strike? Yes, sir. Now, see here, proceedings are run by... Oh, yes, of course. Go ahead, detective, and give your testimony. I think the court would like to hear about the other piece of incriminating evidence. What else have we got there? He looks really sad about this. Sorry, pal, but there's an even more incriminating piece of evidence. This is the costume. This is the costume the defendant was wearing at the time of the crime. As you can see, it's covered in blood. The defendant attacked and killed the person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back. So this is the costume. There certainly is evidence of a back spray of blood on this. This piece directly links Maya Fey to the crime, sir. I see. The court accepts this into evidence. All right, Mr. Wright. Yeah, Maya's fingerprints on both murder weapons and blood splatters on her clothes. Could this situation get any worse? What's wrong? You seem to be at a loss. I think this is the last piece of testimony the prosecution should have to offer. Feel free to sulk off with your tail between your legs, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Please stop calling me by my full name. It's disturbing. Okay. So let's do a little bit of quiz. Why didn't you say so in your testimony earlier? You're kind of scary today, you know, pal. Come now, Mr. Wright. There is no need for that kind of attitude in my court. Alright, just please stop glaring at me like that.
Hold it!
Maya's costume? Yeah, she was wearing this when we arrested her. Maya, she's wearing her channeling costume today too. Is she not allowed to wear anything else? As you can see, it's covered in blood.
Hold it!
Have we checked whose blood it is? This blood on the costume. Lab results show that it was the victim's blood. Well, boo. So there is blood from the victim on the defendant's clothes. Definitely not good. So, were there any other clues you could glean from this piece of evidence? Well...
Objection!
If you must change the topic, then the good detective here must testify again. But too bad. Not enough time. Let's move on. Yes, Miss Von Karma is perfectly correct. Now even the judge is on her side. But if I bite off more than I can chew here, what should I do? I don't know. Let's keep going. Why is Miss Von Karma suddenly putting up resistance? There must be a reason as to why she suddenly threw out an objection like that. There's a bullet hole in those clothes. There's a bullet hole in those clothes. There must be something about this costume. We just have to look harder. Mr. Wright? Ms. Von Karma's logic is perfect. There's no way for you to poke a hole in it. Ugh. My time is up. So, about the costume. There's one thing. Your Honour, actually there is something very wrong with this piece of evidence. What? What are you talking about, pal? Where is this problem you are talking about? Okay, I've come this far. There's no turning back now. The problem I have with this piece of evidence is here. Okay. Plinky, plinky, plink. I ask the court to please take a look at the sleeve of this costume. The sleeve? There's a tiny hole here. A hole. But that wasn't in the report. Hold on. What's this around the hole? It smells faintly of gunpowder. Gunpowder? No one ever told me. A hole that smells of gunpowder. It looks like I found the hole I was looking for. Your Honour, the only logical conclusion you can make is that it must be a bullet hole. Order, order, order. This is a very grave matter. It's best we correct the court record before anything else. Okay. Sorry about that. I guess we messed up, sir. Is she actually smiling? What else is she hiding? Pull yourself together, detective. That tiny hole doesn't change a thing. The strength of the evidence still holds. Continue with your testimony. That just now was a fluke, nothing more.
Objection!
How can you say something like that? This is a huge oversight. While I agree it is a mistake on the part of the police, what Prosecutor Von Karma has said is true. The evidence still stands. If you do not find a more definitive problem with the evidence, then... No way. Detective Gumshoe, please continue with your testimony. Yes, sir. Okay, let's quiz this bit then. He wasn't fighting back. How do you know if he was or wasn't? We could find no evidence that the victim put up any sort of struggle, pal. So did the murderer have a fight with the victim or not? Depending on this, the circumstances around this murder changed drastically. We're in real trouble now. If only I had something to prove that the victim did fight back. That Von Karma, she thinks she can decide the verdict with this testimony alone. Well, I'll find a critical contradiction somehow, and then I'll have her. It's got to be the... Can we present maybe the other... the whole behind? Can we present this?
Objection!
Your Honor. It doesn't. Okay, so we don't present that. Okay. So what do we have? Interesting. So let's see. What do we have? What do we have that might contradict anything? So we don't... There's nothing... No. So I don't think there's anything in that one. That's just the proof that we needed that eeny meeny was there, I guess. Then we've got the diagram. Why is it only a partial guide map? Then we have I don't think this is going to be of any use to me right now, but you know, stranger things have happened. Okay, the proof that Mimi Miney was involved and therefore in it. I've presented that. I've got a key, which I still don't really understand. Maybe if it's not that bullet hole. Maybe it's this bullet hole. Maybe we... Should we present that? Detective Dick Gumshoe. Yes. Having you call me by my full name is kind of a weird feeling. You said that my client killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back. Yeah, I did. Then what, may I ask, is this bully a hole you police overlooked supposed to mean? But what does it mean? I'll tell you what it means. It means that the victim had fired off a shot. Is this what it means to not fight back? You're right. It seems you are correct. If the victim tried to shoot the defendant, then it would change everything. All right, the wind seems to be shifting. Huh. What is with that "are you finished yet" laugh? Are you finished yet, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Miss Von Karma? It seems that my affair was shot at by the victim. However, that is only grounds enough to support a justified self-defense plea. That is correct. But I'm sure you remember, Your Honor, what the defense clearly said. They rejected justified self-defense and pleaded not guilty. Ugh. Now that you... That's right. Okay. Interesting. Which means the defense has yet to prove anything at all. Ugh. Well, yes, that's true. Furthermore, just the fact that there is a bullet hole in the costume is not enough to substantiate even a plea of justified self-defense. Huh? How so? Don't just stand there. Hurry up and tell the court what transpired that day. With the new information we acquired added in, of course. Huh? You mean by myself? You want me to put together a scenario all by myself? Yes, sir. Right away, sir. Okay, what transpired? During the channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. Of course, the victim used the last of his strength to fight back, sir. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. The defendant then picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun, and ended it. This scenario you have put together does make sense. Yes, sir. Well, Mr. Wright, on the surface it does seem to make sense. However, I won't give up that easily. Please refrain from glaring at me like that. Now then, use your cross-examination, please. Sure thing, judge. What transpired? Okay, during the channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. How do we know this? There is quite a difference in height between Dr. Gray and the defendant. Add in body strength, and it seems unlikely the defendant could have stabbed the victim. Now that you mention it, yeah, I guess.
Objection!
You think you can get away with such flimsy reasoning, Mr. Phoenix Wright? My affair was in the middle of channeling, was she not? When channeling with the Current channeling technique, the medium physically changes. With the nurse's build, the defendant could have easily been a match for the doctor. I don't believe it. She even studied up on the Current channeling technique. Like I said before, I am perfect. About what we're talking about, I didn't quite get it. Never mind. Let's continue with the testimony. Of course, the victim used the last of his strength to fight. So he was stabbed, but the stab wound didn't kill him. But if you think about the blood loss, he was probably hurt pretty bad. How badly hurt would you say he was? Actually, I went to give blood the other day, and afterward I felt a little lightheaded and dizzy. I guess the damage was maybe about 10 times the dizziness. Sorry. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. Why did he take a gun to channeling? Where in the world did that pistol come from? It looks like the victim, Dr. Gray, had specifically bought it for that day. But a handgun? He got it off the black market about 2 days before the murder. Why did Dr. Gray bring a gun? Was he taking precautions against something? The victim took a shot, but because they were so close, he missed. So you're saying that the bullet hole in this costume was made then? Sorry, pal, but yeah, that's what I think. The two of them were already fighting when a shot was fired. Maya, I'm really glad you weren't hurt. The defendant then picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun and ended it. Okay. Maya has never fired a gun before in her life. The victim had already taken off the safety. With the safety off, even an amateur like you can fire it just by pulling the trigger. Even me. I wonder. Now do you understand? Von Karma's logic is perfect. His testimony certainly makes us look very bad. But there's got to be a contradiction in there somewhere. And uncovering it is going to uncover the truth. I can feel it. Okay. What do we have? What do we have? So, I think we probably... Wouldn't there be a burn? Wouldn't there be that gunpowder burn they were talking about? How about if we challenge that?
Objection!
Missing the tiny hole on this costume will be the prosecution's undoing. Eh? What do you mean? This little hole has actually created a huge hole in your testimony. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. You said the two of them were fighting when the victim fired his gun at point blank. If that were true, then where is the gunpowder burn on this costume? Gunpowder burn? This is what you testified earlier. When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left around the bullet hole. Oh! But there is not a single trace of gunpowder burn on this costume. That is a very good point. And what exactly does this mean? It means that when the shot was fired, they were standing apart from each other.
Objection!
I'm disappointed, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You think you can punch a hole in my logic with that? With wishy-washy thinking like that, anyone can explain anything away. And then I implore you to disprove my line of thinking. Let's see. In the middle of their fight, the victim pushed the defendant away, and it was then, when they were separated, that he fired. How was that?
Objection!
No. As if that was even possible. According to testimony, the wound from the stabbing was very severe. The victim would not have had the strength to push the defendant very far after that. Oh, she's sweating. Well, then, that's right. The defendant must have pushed the victim away. After stabbing him, she must have put some space between the doctor and herself. And then while she was preparing to strike again, the doctor took his shot. Nah, that should satisfy even you. That does make an awful lot of sense. What do you think, Mr. Wright? I must be careful. I can't afford to make a mistake here. Concentrate and think. Well, it does. I can't say it makes sense, can I? So, there is a fatal flaw in her argument, Your Honour. Fatal? Flaw? Very interesting. I would love to see where this flaw is. Show me anything that contradicts my explanation. There has to be a snag in her explanation somewhere. She put some distance between them before rushing to make the final blow. And when she was about to strike, the doctor took his shot. There must be a piece of evidence that contradicts this line of thinking. So is it... Well, this is the only other evidence that we found in that room, right? So maybe this. This is the piece of evidence that destroys your logic. What is that? A folding screen? I would like to point the court's attention to the hole in this folding screen. It looks like you already know what I'm talking about. Who? Where? What? Mr. Wright, your explanation, please? Are these two really that clueless? The bullet went through the defendant's sleeve first, then the folding screen. It passed through at a height of approximately 8 inches off the ground, which means when the shot was fired, the defendant, was not getting ready to strike, but was actually squatting low to the ground. Order, order. This changes everything. Please look at this diagram of the crime scene. The victim, Dr. Gray, was here when he fired the shot. The bullet hit this folding screen. It hit at this location about 8 inches off the ground. At this time, the defendant was in this area. Okay, so here.
Take that!
Somewhere around here. Uh-oh. The judge's face is scrunched like he just smelled some serious bad breath. Wait, I just realised I forgot to brush this morning. Excuse me while I freshen up. In the meantime, I want you to think things through again, Mr. Wright. Okay, so it wasn't there? Okay, so where was she? Would she maybe have been... Maybe here?
Take that!
Okay, not there. Oh, I'm burning through options. Okay. Maybe if we get closer to the hole?
Take that!
Okay. That was my mistake. I didn't get close enough to the hole. How ridiculous. How absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculous, ridiculous. Okay. So, she was standing here near the folding screen. Oh, wait a second. We know the defendant was close to the ground based on the height of the bullet hole. But how can you gauge the distance from that? Isn't it possible that the defendant was standing much closer to the victim? No, that's impossible. But why? You, of all people, should know the answer to that question, Miss Von Karma. If she was shot from somewhere closer, there would be gunpowder burns present. However, there is nothing of the sort around this bullet hole of this costume. Ah, curse you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You. I believe that it has now been proven that the defendant was standing away from the victim when she was shot at. But do you think this has changed the defendant's situation? I think it changes everything. Hashtag maybe. Honestly, Your Honour, this changes everything. The prosecution has claimed that the defendant was aiming to kill by stabbing. If that were true, delivering the final strike with the knife would be ideal. However, where and what the defendant was doing at the time, squatting all the way by the folding screen. Exactly. If Maya Fey was a real murderer, why would she be by this folding screen instead of preparing to strike? Upon further consideration, it does make very little sense. Yeah, I figured there had to be a reason. Figuring things out and proving the logic behind everything is your job. Alright, with this, the rest of the trial should be in the... Oh dear. Blast radius of disaster. You are such a smart man, Mr. Phoenix Wright. To think that you've been able to take a completely hopeless case to this point. Now I know why Papa had a tough time with you. You amuse me. Of all the things to inherit, why did it have to be that smarmy smile? Detective, how dare you damage my perfect logic? Huh? How is it all my fault? You can start by repairing your standing by first removing that 3-strand goatee. Oh, and rest assured your punishment will come later. Punishment? Well then, Your Honour, I think I've had all I can take of this detective's faith. I think it's time to call in the next witness. Next witness? That's gotta be Lotta. Very well. The court will take a 5-minute recess. After we reconvene, we will hear from the next witness. Okay. So we've got the next part. Save just in case. I don't want to lose anything. Okay. Okay, so 52 minutes in. So we've got time for the second half of the case. We're good, we're good, we're good, we're good, we're good. I wonder if this, does this finish it up? Or I bet we've got another day of investigation, I'll bet, haven't we? Anyway. Recess time. I speak to Maya. Phew, that was a close one. I know you were giving it your all to defend me, but I could feel the death penalty hanging in the air. I felt I was pretty close to dying myself. But you were wonderful out there. You listened carefully, made theories, and tricked everyone into believing you. Wait, tricked? That must be the lawyer's secret technique, right? By the way, is the next witness who I think it is? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Lotta Hart. Guess there's no escaping her, huh? Remember, Nick, you promised you'd save me. If you lose, me and my sissy's ghost will come after you and haunt you. Your sister? Are you talking about Mystic Mia? Yeah? Do you remember her, Pearly? My sister was a super good lawyer. She was also Nick's teacher. Oh, I didn't know that. Why does she look so concerned about it? Okay, we're back in the court will now reconvene. Now, the first order of... Ow. I don't want to hear it, old man. After I call my witness, sit there quietly and watch like a good little boy. Yes, sir. Bring in the photographer who witnessed the channeling. I want to see these photos you took. Witness, your name and occupation, if you please. Hey, Phoenix, how you doing? Just fine. Sorry about this. Didn't exactly have a choice, you know. Yes. Name and occupation. I declare what in tarnation. Hey, Judge, this here is a violence against my fair self. That's fine. This ain't fine. That's a whip. Ah. There's no need for foolish outcries from foolishly foolish fools. Just hurry up and testify about what happened on the day of the murder. I haven't even gotten to say my name and job yet. The name's Lotta Hart, paranormal photographer, and I'm here to testify. No. Let's all be one big happy family, okay? Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen with Von Karma in the room, to be honest. She's an interesting one. Only the doc and the defendant went into the channeling chamber. We were waiting outside at the door, and then, bang, we hear the gunshot. Mr. Lawyer there broke the door down, and we rushed into the room. Inside was the dead victim and the defendant waving a pistol around. I swear, other than those two, there was no one else in the room. And did you take a picture of the scene right after the murder took place? Reckon course. Eh? Excuse me? Reckon course. It's short for you reckon? Of course I did. Ah. Does it look like I care? Just hurry up and show your picture to the court. The moment of truth. What will be in that picture? Let's see here. Here's the picture. Okay, what do we have? Well, that doesn't make any sense. She's the wrong end of the room for a start. It would certainly seem that only the defendant and the victim were in that room. Lotta's photo added. She took us. Are you ready, Mr. Phoenix Wright? I will clear all doubt about Maya through this cross-examination. Just watch me. Okay. Right, let's get this cross-examination down. Only the doc and the defendant went into the channel. Okay. Was it really only those two that went in?
Objection!
What are you blabbering about? You were there too, were you not? Ugh. Why don't you answer that yourself? Was it really just the two of them? Yes, Dr. Gray and Maya were the only two that went into the room. Hold on, we can't have the defense testifying against its own client. Anyway, folks, only the two of them went into the channeling chamber, you hear? But you knew that from the very beginning, didn't you? Witness, continue. Okay. We were waiting outside the door and then bang, we hear this gunshot. We heard two gunshots actually. Was it really a gunshot?
Objection!
Are you insane? You must have heard it as well. Why don't you testify for the court, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Was it really a gunshot? Yes, I think it was something that sounded like a gunshot. And why are we here listening to the defense testify? And the world becomes just a little crueler. I heard a gunshot a long time ago, so I know. And I tell you, that was a gunshot I heard. Now this is where the story heats up. Mr. Lawyer there broke the door down and we rushed into the room. Do I need to press it? Let's just press it. So let me get this straight. This Mr. Lawyer there broke the door down. Honestly, Mr. Phoenix Wright, why don't you tell us what happened then? Yes, Miss Von Karma, I broke the door down. Sorry. Why does this feel like an inquisition? No need for apologising. That was great. You're a real man. Oh, really? That's something I would have liked to see. The judge is smiling rather openly. I'll take that as a good sign. And what did you see once you broke in? Inside was the dead victim and the defendant, waving a pistol around. Are you sure it was the defendant, Maya Fey? Sure, I'm sure. Lotta seems awful confident in her testimony. Lotta, please, think back to that day one more time. What you getting at? Remember what you said when we broke into the room? I was murdered. Lotta, at a time like this. Times like this are perfect for snapping up shots. But anyway, what's going on here? This girl, is she Maya? When you saw the murderer at that time, you couldn't even tell if it was Maya Fey or not. Am I correct? Well, you see... Order, Miss Hart. You are here to present accurate testimony. Yeah, sorry. Good. This shifts things back to my side. For a defense lawyer, your defense is terribly lacking, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Witness, think back to when those two entered the channeling chamber. When they entered? One of those people that entered the chamber was Maya Fey, correct? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was Maya that went in. It looks like we've come to a collective conclusion. The person in this picture is most certainly Maya Fey. Exactly. Rats. And I'm trapped like one. Again. I swear, other than those two, there was no one else in the room. Okay. Let's just press this last bit. Sure am. I'm assuming I wasn't even reading that then. I just glazed over thinking about it. That old witch chased us out of the room, so... Old witch? Does she mean Morgan Fey? But there was no one else in there, and you know it. The channeling chamber was very dark. Almost pitch black. Was there really no one else in there? What about... behind the folding screen? What about behind the folding screen? Did you check back there? Wreck given. Huh? What in the... Wreck given. You reckon? That's a given. I took a good look around the room once. There ain't no way anyone was hanging out behind that folding screen. If I may have a word with you, Miss Hart. What? You got a problem? Wreck given. I am having a little difficulty in understanding you. If you would stop saying such things as reckon given. Now then, Mr. Phoenix Wright, do you see the problem with the testimony? Or don't you? Just as I thought, there is nothing wrong with her testimony. I was with her, so I know she's telling the truth. Enough. It seems there are no issues with Miss Hart's testimony. At the time of the crime, only 2 people were in the channeling chamber. The victim, Dr. Turner Gray, and the defendant, Maya Fay. The face of the defendant cannot be verified in this picture. However, if you think about the circumstances, it would have to be the defendant. What am I going to do if I just let this go? What is it, Mr. Wright? You look as if you have something to say. If I make one wrong move, I'm going to have the judge against me. Is there anything I can present that would prove it's Maya in that photo? Do I have anything? No. I don't have anything. Well, Mr. Wright? Nothing, Your Honour. That's very smart of you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You really should give up trying to prove this is not Maya Fay. You didn't say anything about giving up. I just don't have the right piece of evidence to prove my argument. That's enough. Is this it? Is this all I could do? I think it is quite obvious to this court that a verdict of not guilty is not possible. I told you. Totally 100% impossible. Ms. Von Karma, do you have any further questions for this witness? Having established the defendant's guilt, further questioning won't be needed. What about defense? No further questions, I presume? I couldn't protect Maya. The defense. Phoenix, you can't make that kind of face. A lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. Mia? I guess I made it just in time, wouldn't you say? But pearls? Her clothes are a bit small. Anyway, what are you waiting for, Phoenix? Let's go. But hey, she's already taken away every advantage. The advantage is still in your hand. Think carefully, one more time, about what you saw in the channeling chamber. Do you remember what you told me yesterday? Dr. Gray? I was murdered. What? She took 2 photos. Where's the other photo, Lotta? Lotta, at a time like this? Times like this are perfect for snapping up shots. You see, there is one final piece to this puzzle. Mia, question Lotta one more time, Phoenix. I don't know if she's doing it unconsciously or on purpose, but she's not testifying truthfully. Now then, this court would like to end the cross-examination period. Please wait, Your Honour. The defence would like to request that the witness testify one more time. Overruled. I'm afraid you're too late. Mr. Wright, the cross-examination has already ended. Furthermore, It's fine. I'll allow another testimony. Von Karma's case is perfect. Absolutely flawless. And what better time than this for you to see that? But I have some place I must go after this. All right, I'll allow it. Miss Hart, hurry and give us another testimony. Well, heck, what am I supposed to talk about? Please tell us once more what happened when you burst into the channeling chamber. Okay, you got it. See? You got through to the judge somehow, right? Well, actually, it was Von Karma's whip that got through to him. Okay, part 2. What do we got? What do we got? When we broke into that room, all I could focus on was Maya. I was kind of scared of the dead body, so I didn't take a good look at it. I'm really bad when it comes to ghosts, blood and ghosts and stuff. But I still managed to point my camera at Maya and take a shot. Nothing sounds different from before. Some parts of her testimony were very vague. I should press her on those sections. Okay. Struggle all you like as you taste the bitterness of your defeat. Well, amuse me with your useless questions, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I'm waiting. Okay, so we want to ask her about the extra photo, don't we? So where does she mention that she took a photo? Okay, so we want to ask her about this. 2, right? 2 what? 2 shots. You took 2 shots. But only one has been submitted as evidence. Miss Hart, where is the other picture you have been withholding? No, you've got it all wrong. It's not me. I didn't mean anything bad. I know I can be a little mean, but I ain't evil. Well, at least she knows herself. Then why have you not shown this other picture to the court yet? Well, ain't it obvious? That prosecutor woman told me to shut my trap about it. What? Von Karma. Ms. Von Karma, you're hiding critical evidence? Unbelievable, Von Karma. Suppressing evidence like this, you're as bad as your father. Okay. Give me the... Your Honour, the defence asks that Prosecutor Von Karma be held in contempt of court. Well, yes. Me? In contempt of court? You can't be serious. But you hid evidence from the court on purpose. That's not fair. Phoenix, are you a lawyer or a school child? I'm so angry I lost my composure. Miss Von Karma, would you care to explain yourself to this court? I thought this picture was not important and thus felt no need to submit it. That's all. How could you think? The pictures were more or less the same, so why bother with the second? I mean, it's just so much more trouble than it's worth for me to submit this as evidence. More trouble than it's worth? How can you say that? If you want to see it that badly, I'll submit it. Okay, can we see it? I mean, that looks nothing like Maya. Is there anything else in this photo? What is this picture? It's obviously the second picture the witness took the day of the crime. Well, it's a little off-centre, but that's what you get with a nervous amateur. I think the important point here is the person in this picture. This is most definitely not Maya Fey. What is the meaning of this? This might be the break I was looking for. Now, should I or should I not insist that the person in this picture is not Maya? I mean, we may as well just go down this road, right? Your Honour, as you can plainly see, the person in the picture is not Maya Fey. Yes, I see that. It's not just her face. The whole body has taken on a different appearance. There is only one conclusion that can be drawn then. That somehow this other person snuck in and traded places with the defendant. Order, order, order. Well, yes, I believe you are correct, Mr. Wright. The person who was inside the channeling chamber was not Maya Fey. Mia, we did it. You're too soft. Huh? You're softer than Aunt Morgan's strawberry desserts, Phoenix. Take a look at Prosecutor Von Karma's face. She's smiling. I think you would better continue to worry, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Miss Von Karma, what do you mean by that? Your Honor, I would like for you to take a look at this picture. This was taken yesterday at the detention center's visitors' room. This is Mr. Phoenix Wright and the defendant, Maya Fey, during his visit. Maya Fey? But isn't this a totally different person? She looks this way because she's obviously in the middle of channeling a spirit. That I mumbled through that, didn't I? Channeling a spirit. It's unbelievable that she can, yet it is the truth. When Maya Fey is in that state, she physically changes into the person she's calling. Miss Von Karma, a word, if I may. Mia? Taking pictures of someone during a private visit is illegal. Surely you must know that picture can't be submitted as evidence. Obviously, I know this picture is illegal, but I never intended to submit it as evidence in the first place. What is she? From the moment I showed this picture to the court, this case became all mine. After all, this image has now been forever burned into the judge's mind. I don't even have a single witty line. It looks like we've been had. I don't claim to understand this, and I still cannot believe it. Are you saying that this person is the defendant, Maya Fey? If I give up here, the trial will end. But if I slip up and say something wrong, it will cost me. Is there any way I can prove that the person in this picture is not Maya? Yeah, sure. Your Honor. Oh, the fire has returned to your eyes, I see. This picture. Within this picture lies a critical contradiction to all the testimony up until now. A contradiction? A contradiction? So, you think you've spotted a problem with this picture? Then earn your keep. Why don't you point out exactly what is so strange? Okay, well, there's no gunshot wound in this, so let's here-ish. Please direct your attention here to the sleeve. But there isn't anything odd about it. And that is exactly what is so odd. Something that should be there is suddenly missing. Should be there. Ah. There was a bullet hole in the sleeve of the defendant's costume. If that's the case, then it should be in this picture as well. Ms. Von Karma, you intended to hide this valuable piece of evidence? You will most certainly be assigned a penalty for this. Alright, this should do some major damage to her argument. Don't celebrate yet. You like to bring down the mood, don't you? Take a look at Miss Von Karma's face. She's got that condescending grin plastered all over her face again. Jumping the gun again, I see. Your Honour, I would like to extend an apology on behalf of those incompetent fools. What do you mean? And what incompetent fools? If those fools down at the precinct hadn't missed the bullet hole, I would have gotten a report about it. As I didn't, I could not have known that this picture was of any value to the case. I see. She's lying through her teeth. I know it. That woman knew about everything. The bullet hole, the picture, everything. But you can't prove that. Franziska von Karma's idea of a perfect case is quite fascinating, don't you think? Your Honour, you need not worry. If you must assign a penalty, I'll personally make sure the detective gets what's coming. I'm sure there will be a great gnashing of teeth at his next salary discussion. Poor Gumshoe. In any case, this is a very big problem. When the defendant was taken into custody, her costume had a bullet hole in its sleeve. However, from this photo, it would appear that right after the shooting, there were none. The judge is confused by this strange twist of events. This is your chance, Phoenix. Load all you've got into this one shot, alright? Got it. Watch this, Maya. Your Honour, there is only one logical explanation for the contradiction. The bullet hole was made later, the picture is a fake. Well, the shooter is someone else. The defendant's sleeve had a bullet hole in it. However, this person's clearly does not. There can be only one explanation. The person who shot Dr. Gray was not the defendant, but a different person altogether. What? I said what I said. Order, order, order. If order is not restored, I will suspend this trial. Why me? The defense's argument is a complete mess. A complete mess. I fail to see how. Please enlighten us. Hey, witness. What the heck? Is that any way to ask a girl for a favour? Be quiet, you. You were the one who said it was only the two of them when you entered the room. Well, you know, if you were lying, I swear that my whip will be the last thing you see. Look, sis, you're looking mighty scary, so why don't we say you... I swear, I wasn't lying or nothing. There wasn't anyone else in there, honest. You see? Now riddle me this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Where did the defendant vanish to? And where did this other woman appear from? Why is it lately all I want to do is cry? Same, Phoenix, same. Well, if the person in this picture is not the defendant, then this poses two very big questions. First, where did the defendant vanish to? And second, where did this person come from? That's right. Now hurry up and answer, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Come on, you can't fall apart here, Phoenix Wright. I can't believe that even Mia's calling me by my full name. But, I mean, how am I supposed to prove something like this? Had enough yet, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Or do you think you have enough in you to turn things around even now? To turn things around? That's right, Mia would always turn things around and change her perspective. Phoenix, so, where did this intruder appear from, and where did Maya disappear to? I need to look at this situation from a different angle. Let's see. What if before we broke in, a third person was already in the room? And what if Maya had left that room somehow? If I could prove that either one of those conditions were true. Mr. Wright, let's hear what you've come up with. I think that what happened before we forced our way into the chamber is... Let's go down the middle. Maya had left the channeling chamber at some point, and the defense can prove this. Oh. How a foolish fool make the foolish face while dreaming foolishly foolish dreams. Maya Fay was being looked after by her aunt, Morgan Fay. The chances of her leaving the crime scene is lower than that detective's salary. Anyway, let's see some evidence. Prove that from the murder until the time of the arrest, the defendant had left the room. Maybe it's the key. Maybe there's a door behind that screen. A secret door. Miss Hart, do you remember this key? Well, seen it. Hey, that's the channeling chamber key, right? Before the channeling started, Maya locked the room from inside with that. The defendant herself locked the door. Yeah, that's why we all couldn't get the door open. That key is the only one of its kind, after all. Oh, one of a kind, you say? Wait. Mr. Phoenix Wright. Yes? It looks like she's catching on. I'm afraid to ask, but why is that key currently in your possession? Huh? What do you mean? If Maya Fay locked herself in, then the key should have been with her. Yes, agreed. However, she did not have the key at the time of her arrest. Ah, well, ain't that a kick? So how come you're holding it? I got this as a present from a certain little girl. And that little girl was nowhere near the crime scene at the time. That's preposterous. This means that Maya Fay must have left the room. If she had not, then I would not be holding this key you see before you. It seems we have come to an impasse. This picture has clearly captured the face of the murderer. However, is this person the defendant or not? The defense is arguing that this person is not the defendant. Furthermore, as proof, this key has been submitted as evidence. Ms. Von Karma, how can this be? At this point in time, a verdict on the defendant's guilt is not possible. My perfect case. How is there a flaw in my perfect case? Don't think you've won yet, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I am a prodigy. Prodigy. I always have trouble with that word. I have never lost a case. And I don't intend to lose here in this courtroom to a fool like you. I don't care what I have to do. I will get my guilty verdict. That's enough. If you would like to continue, do so in the lobby. Court will reconvene tomorrow at 10 a.m. That is all. Court is adjourned. Okay. Wow. That was you, Pearly? You summoned my sis? Yes. I felt I had no choice. Great going, Pearly. I knew you were special. Hey, Nick, did you know? Yeah. It's not like anyone else in there could have done that. Nick? I know you're trying really hard and all, but I really don't remember ever leaving that room. And I don't think that a third person could have gone into that room. Yeah. Well, At least we have until tomorrow to figure things out. Like, what happened in that room, for instance? Yeah, I'm counting on you. I envy the two of you. Oh, by the way, Nick, do you think you could take Pearly back home for me? Sure. All right, pals. You ready to go buy some tickets? Huh? A ticket? Poor thing. So sheltered. Okay. Right, just give me a second, you guys. I'll be back in a moment. I just got to deal with the dog. One sec. Hello, I'm back. Okay, we sorted the dog out. He needed to go outside, didn't he, mate? And now he's wrapped back up in his blanket where it's nice and warm. Okay, so we're doing a little bit of the investigation, I guess. Let's just save this just quick. I've probably got another half an hour-ish. Okay, let's see where we're at. So we're returning little Pearl. Thank you very much for bringing me home, Mr. Nick. You're welcome. I had to come and look into a few things here today anyway. I thought about this a little. If Mystic Maya didn't kill that nice man, she definitely didn't. Yes, of course. But if she didn't, then someone else did, right? That murderer person. Yes, Pearls. Oh, I see. I wonder what's wrong. She seems sad. Okay. So what did you think of seeing your first trial? I was really surprised. I had never seen so many people before. Oh. And Mystic Maya looks so small and helpless. Well, Maya's already naturally short, so... And then, that snobby woman with the ruffly clothes... Roughly, oh, she means Francisca. She had such a bad attitude. She acted like she had already decided that Mystic Maya did it. I am going to tell her what I think of her tomorrow. I wouldn't miss tomorrow's trial for the world. Why was that woman bullying Mystic Maya? Well, she's the opposite of a lawyer, a prosecutor, so her job is to prove people guilty. They don't care if someone's innocent. All they care about is if they win. That's terrible. But she's a really good prosecutor with a heart on the inside, right? Doubt it. There's no one like that. All prosecutors are the same. Well, he might have become a good guy, eventually. He? Who are you talking about, Mr. Nick? Is it that person Mystic Maya was talking about, Mr. Edgeworth? That was a long time ago. He's not around anymore. Huh? He clutched onto his foolish pride too fiercely and died for it. Oh, that's too bad. By the way, yes, what is it? You wouldn't happen to know anything about who the murderer is, would you? Why are you asking me? No, I was just thinking earlier. I didn't see anything. She didn't see anything, huh? Speaking of that, during the murder, where was Pearls and what was she doing? And on top of that, this key. Just when did she pick this up? I just realised that I never asked you what you were doing at the time of the crime. Pearls, where were you and what were you doing when the murder happened? What was I doing? I, wasn't doing anything. She's really bad at lying. You can whisper it to me. I won't tell anyone else, I promise. Uh-oh. I guess you can see through my lie, huh? Yeah. Clearly. I can't lie to you, can I, Mr. Nick? Probably not. Okay. Interesting. So, what if we try and present the Pearl's alibi? Pearl, you have to tell me what you were doing when the murder happened, okay? But what if I can't just tell you what happened? Then I'll guess what happened. How does that sound? What? You can do that. Maybe I can do that. I mean, maybe. You'll tell me if I guess something right, won't you? Yes. Okay. What am I meant to be doing? I'm pretty smart, Pearls. I know you were right here. No, I wasn't. Oh. Okay. I've got to stop getting this wrong.
Take that!
See if she... Okay. No, we can't keep doing this. I don't think I have enough evidence yet. Okay. What if we ask her about this? About this key, Pearls. You found it on the day of the murder, right? Yes. Now, where you found this key is very important. So please tell me, Pearls, where did you find this? I found it in the incinerator. The incinerator? Is she talking about the one in the garden? The door on it was a little open, so I took a peek. When was that? It was after the channeling, when everyone was in a panic. Mr. Nick? Yes? Are you going to tell my mother? You mean tell Morgan what you did? Yes. If she finds out that I was playing in the leftover trash, I'll get a spanking. Gotcha. Well, let's keep it a secret from her then, alright? The incinerator, huh? Sounds like a good place to search next. Okay. Is that going to be any more? No. Okay, so let's go and find the incinerator then. I guess. It's really empty. Training was supposed to be held today, but I guess it's already over. Interesting, interesting. Let's go and look at the incinerator over here. Hey, there's someone by the incinerator. What's that poking out of it? Looks like they've noticed me. And are now running at top speed towards me. Oh, it's you. It's just you. Oh, hey. Like, you're that dentist guy. Actually, it's Phoenix Wright, attorney at law. Nice to see you again. Oh, like, real suave. So it's like my turn. It's It's nice to see you too. So, what's up? You're all out of breath? Like, huh? Oh, like, you mean, like, I'm just totally happy and, like, totally excited to be here. Excited? Like, I mean, there are so many things to, like, see. It's, like, the real deal here. Oh, really? For example? For example, like that urn over there. Do you, like, know about it? All I see is an old cracked piece of pottery. Okay, let's see what she's up to. Is there some sort of legend connected with that urn? Like, yeah, it's like this village's treasure. Huh, didn't know that. And, like, it's sealed inside that urn. What are you talking about? Like, you know, Amy Faye's spirit. Amy Faye? Who's that? Like, geez, Mr. Smith, get with the program. Everyone knows the lady that founded the Kirain channeling technique was Mystic Amy. You don't have to get upset with me. So, like, as long as the spirit, like, lives in that urn, the spiritual power of the Faye family will stick around. Like, isn't that totally romantic? Romantic? Huh? If that urn is really as important as she says, it could be a vital clue. I mean, that says, I am not Amy. Did somebody put it back together wrong? Innie, I want to ask you about the murder. Murder? Dr. Grays, remember? As if there was another one. Oh, that one. Like, you should have said so in the first place. So, like, totally don't know anything because I was, like, sleeping in the side room. Well, that's not much help. Did you notice anything at all? Like, come on. What a total bore. I, like, totally have nothing to do with this. Like, murder thing? Oh, yeah. You only introduced Dr. Gray to Kirain Village. No relation, sure. Even if you were only acquaintances, that still means you knew him. Furthermore, your sister who died in that accident was a nurse at his clinic. Alright then, why don't you tell me about your sister's fatal accident? Like, why? You think, like, it's got something to do, like, with the murder? I don't know yet, but I'm trying to chase down every lead I can. Oh, she's got more stuff to hide. Okay. Cyclops. Well, like, what is it? Looks like I'm going to need something to pry her mouth open on this one. Okay. So I can't just risk things. So let's do one little last examine of this. That's right. Pearl said she found this key inside the incinerator. I guess I should take a look inside for myself. This is from Maya's costume. There's blood on it. A tiny bit, but still. Okay. Somebody tried to burn something. Good. Interesting. So there's a spirit in this urn. All I see are a bunch of cracks. But I guess maybe the spirit could live in the space between the cracks. Looks like something's written on it. I am. Huh. Weird. Okay, so that might be important. So someone tried to burn this, and this key was also found in there. I get the feeling this incinerator played a crucial part in this murder. I'll tell you where else I want to check. Just before... I want to have a look in here. Looks like Morgan's here too, but she hasn't noticed me yet. What is she doing? Looks like she's talking to a picture. What is she doing? She looks psychotic. Don't you see? Take a look around. Finally, my chance has come. I've waited for this day for so long. That's right. Prepare yourself, dear Misty. What in the... is there? Oh, if it isn't Mr. Wright. Just curious, but that picture you were just looking at. Oh, today was that event. Was it not good? Sir, I heard you did well. Oh, yeah, thank you. I'm terribly sorry I could not attend the trial today. Please accept my apology. I had a previous engagement as I had to watch over the trainees' training today. I'm getting the sense she really doesn't want to talk about the picture. All because the master can't be here with us, you understand. And that is why a lowly branch family member such as myself must do this. Okay, I'm going to talk to her. I want to look behind. There is some empty space behind the folding screen. The light of the candles can't reach back there, so it's completely dark. There wasn't anyone back here at the time of the murder. Or that's what Lotta testified in court. I knew I should have taken a look. I could always count on Lotta to make things hard. Okay, that was what I really wanted to look at. What's this? I guess this is an altar. Okay, we've seen all this before. I was hoping that we could get behind that. Because, like, there's space to go behind there. Quite a lot of space. Like, is there an extra door? Anyway, I'm going to leave it here for tonight. Probably going to be back tomorrow. I've got a pretty free day tomorrow, I believe. Get some work done in the morning and then hopefully play a bit later tomorrow. So on that note, I'm going to go and see if there's anyone we can raid super quick. And then I'm going to call it a night. Ah, what a day. Let's go see. Let's go see. Who's around? Who is around? Okay, let's go over here. We'll go raid Blue and Queenie. Oh, we can't raid. Okay. They don't accept raids by the looks of it. Okay, so I don't have anybody to raid, so I'm just going to leave it there. And hopefully I will see you tomorrow. Thanks as always for all of the follows, all of the chats, all of that stuff. It is hugely appreciated, and I will hopefully catch you tomorrow. Bye.